team ban. LGD's turn to ban. Radiant team ban. LGD's turn to pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Witch Doctor.
Radiant team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Hello folks, welcome back to more MDL action. We are getting ready to head into our final series today. Another upper bracket semifinal matchup. This time it's OG go against LGD. I'm back here with Parker. Early impressions about this series?
OG, they've been very impressive on the new patch. There was a lot of question marks around them. How good are they going to be? They haven't played anything on 6.8. They were like one of the only top team who had not played 6.86, and they came out, did fine. They only lost to Vici, and other than that, they were a really dominant team. LGD, they played a lot on the new patch. They had to go through the they had to go through the qualifiers for the major. They played at WCA. They played at Starlighter. They played more games than most teams on 6.86, so they're very familiar, very comfortable. So it's kind of two clashes in experience on the new patch, no experience in the new patch. Kind of OG are kind of unpredictable. LGD are really strong, even though you maybe know what they're going to go for. So it's a kind of interesting little matchup here.
Well, let's see what they're going to dish out here. Draft underway, and what other chess piece is going to be for this exciting match. Let's find out right now. Okay, look at this. The Western team gonna be the one to pick up the Faceless Void here. This comes after banning out the Darkseer, and of course gotta get rid of that Earth Spirit. Probably won't be seeing a lot of him for the rest of the tournament. LGD get rid of the Wisp, because after all you're going against OG and you gotta do that. And then the follow-up Invoker, which of course the 8K Lord has been showing how powerful this magician can be. LGD, their 1-2 punch is a Witch Doctor and an early commitment to the Terrorblade.
Oh, wanting to make sure they get the Terrorblade, I guess. Which suggests they really want the Terrorblade over heroes like Silas Morphling, which he's also played a lot of. And
it's Zeus. That's Zeus man. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is about that guy, but there is a crazy tie between him and Faceless Void, and how they're two powers who cannot dare be on the same playing field.
Their powers combined.
I saw it all throughout the Chinese qualifier and riddled throughout this tournament. It's like, oh, they got Void. Get rid of that Zeus.
And OG are kind of adding the Chinese picking style flair to their draft here, because they haven't been prioritizing the Void so much, at least not in the first stage hero. But they're new to the patch. They haven't played a whole lot, so they're probably going to be using this to play their style, but also try and incorporate some of the more successful team style into their own picks. So the Void, which has been the top pick for all of the top teams who are still in the tournament. You look at eHome, you look at LGD, you look at VG-Gaming, they're all picking and first picking Void. So OG's like, yeah, we'll take the Void too. We'll take the Venge is another good example of a hero who's really good right now in this patch and is going to continue to be picked. It's great because it's a counter to the Bat Rider, who's a top pick. It also means you can pick the Bat with the Venge and your opponents don't have Venge. It also counters the Void, so Venge is just really strong right now and probably one of the top tier supports.
I don't dare that LGD would consider tampering with the Bat Rider now that they see the Venge. But
yeah,
outside of Darkseer, what has RTK had success with so far? I can't remember who put up the stat, but someone was like, when he plays Darkseer, amazing numbers. Everything
Yeah.
else, meh.
Might have been the house. I remember him saying it was just crazy because he's played so much more Darkseer, so he'd had like something like 12 to 15 wins on Darkseer, and his
Yeah.
next highest wins on any hero on this patch was like 3 wins. So, and he played more Darkseer than anything, but he by far his most successful and his most prioritized hero.
He's gonna have to pick something here. It's a bit different.
Let's say Tide's the other one, which I think he's been really good on, but that's banned out now. So they've, I think, recognizing that RTK, he's not that he's kind of hero pool limited, but it's more he's got like a decent hero pool size, but there's certain ones where he's really good and other ones where he's a bit shaky. So they want to get his really solid heroes from his pool.
But sometimes he might pull out something you might sleep on, and next thing you know, he has an MVP performance. One that stands out to me was when he pulled out the Earthshaker in Frankfurt. It was
Yeah.
a game where he just took over.
And he's going to want to play that big kind of team fighting initiator type hero when you've got a Terrorblade. You've got maybe in the mid lane who generally plays more snowbally type heroes, flashier heroes. If it's something more like a Lina, or it could be a more carry oriented hero. Could be something more farmy, like to match up against OD, like a Viper, a bit more boring. But he's got to play the Shaker type in the off lane.
Now for OG, and I must admit, I unfortunately haven't been able to catch all the OG games, but is it typically just a miracle OD?
No clue. No clue whatsoever.
Doesn't feel like an AK kind of a hero,
It
but
could be
it
either.
could
It's
be.
the same. It was they had Death Prophet, and I was casting with you and kind of talking about what's the last pick going to be? What's the no-tail hero going to be while Miracle plays this mid Death Prophet? It's going to be a Gyro, a Jug, and then suddenly it's like AM, and then Miracle's AM, and they put no-tail mid. So this could be to me either no-tail. No-tail's so flexible, and I think that's what the biggest thing he brings to this team is that his hero pool is super flexible, so they can put Miracle on the mid or the safe lane, and it's more Miracle who they decide who gets like first choice of the hero, and No-Tail just plays what's left because he can play whatever. So if they decide that there's a safe lane carry they want Miracle on, he'll play the OD. If they decide OD is going to be the big snowball hero and they want like a stable safe hero like a Gyrocopter or something, then it may just be No-Tail on the Gyro. Although Miracle sometimes plays Gyro too, so.
But look at this.
Gyro.
But look at the counter pick that came up between them. The Nyx assassin grab going up against the OD. That already kind of sends chills down his spine a bit. Very nice grab. I wager could just be the offlane grab for RTK, but has been ran as a secondary 4 position, kind of a support for other teams. Intrigued to see what LGD are going to be doing with it. And OG taking a step back a bit and go for the Gyrocopter. This does make it a bit more cut and dry, suspecting the Big Daddy. Gyrocopter to be grabbing up that one.
I mean, they both play Gyro, but more likely I think Big Daddy with OD.
Great synergy with the Faceless Void, who sets him up with the Chrono for Gyro to be able to knock them down as a follow-up, and great way to clear out maybe some pesky Terrorblade illusions. Overall strong team fight impact, and is this an MMY Classic Lion?
Yep, looks that way. They often get that kind of greedier 4 position support and just rush a Blink and try to get that 10 to 12 minute Blink dagger up on Lion, while Witch Doctor does all the supporting. And this is something we saw out of LGD-Gaming, where they really prioritize having these Hex supports. There was the Shadow Shaman. Lion got banned, so they picked Shadow Shaman, and they want to have these types of heroes against Void. When he tries to initiate, you can try and Hex him before he Chronos, but more importantly, in the laning stage, the Time Walk to save yourself is less reliable because you're against a hero with 2 disables at level 2. You've got Impale as well as Hex, Shaman has Shackles as well as Hex.
Mass disables on team already. It's pretty out of control. All of them, with between the both supports, if one of them was caught outside of the bubble, they can still participate and help out. And it's just very, very good. So they still need to get something for their mid lane to contest this OD, which is already a pretty tough task in it. So we know maybe to be one to play like a Viper if necessary.
And RTK, and maybe I feel like he'll drop maybe something that's needed for the team. I think something about maybe is that they won't just draft like a comfort hero for him. You look at like what Secret doing. I feel a lot of their drafts were like they didn't have the best showing at Starlighter, so Puppy and Envy, when they were drafting, were like, let's pick players that comfort heroes. I don't think RTK will take that approach. I think he's going to pick what's needed for the draft.
It's either that or maybe like a Lina to help against a BKB dependent kind of Gyrocopter.
Lina's quite solid.
So I'm thinking, but it's OG's next pick, and they're looking around out there. Crit Hero, which is always the fun one I love to look for here. How about that Jakiro? Bring back the Crit Jakiro. Other than that, Tusk is kind of what he falls for if an Earth Spirit's not there.
Disruptor's good too, I think, with the
Disruptor.
Voids. Plus, you get the Static Storm going in there. You've
That's
got
true.
Silence to stop Asunder, to stop Nyx using spells.
Thunderstrike helps kind of nerf down the Terrorblade illusions and push a bit. I
Yeah.
guess, yeah.
I like Disruptor a lot.
And just adds a lot to the huge team fight, of course. But
Having a hero with some disables and control for Terrorblade is probably going to be pretty handy, just to help control him around the Sunder usage. Venge Stun and Chronosphere, not like I don't at later stage of the game, you're not guaranteed to be able to kill him off during the Chronosphere.
the Pirate Man comes out here.
Yes.
Kunkka. Support Kunkka.
I really like the support Kunkka. I've heard some people who really don't like it, some who kind of think it's great. I'm a big fan just because of the run brings to the table, and it's such a reliable initiation at level 6, level 7. You X into ship into torrent. You guarantee the fight to start, and then the rum it negates the damage of the fight. So those two kind of attributes combined just synergize so well. A guaranteed fight combined with guaranteed damage negation for your entire team. And maybe they just let one hero die, but even then, Boat's got such a short cooldown now.
Yeah.
You don't mind if they decide to not fight. You get a pick off. So you're like, wait, our support committed an ultimate for a pick off? That's like fine. That's dream scenario.
And the extra utility with the X being able to, send allies back to Fountain without the cost of a TP is pretty damn swell. So look for potential setups to lead out the gate, even as soon as level 2. You have a nice little combo in itself. So LGD now. We look for the maybe grab. Oh, a Templar Assassin. Haven't seen this in a while. But coming out here and now, Dire Side opens up more Roche potential. I'm sure between the line and Witch Doctor, stacks are probably going to be built up easily for the TA to be able to snowball with. What do you think about the TA grab here?
Interesting little pick. They decide they need more damage, more like him. They want to get another core. It doesn't necessarily match up amazingly against any certain set heroes. It's pretty good in the laning stage against OD. There's Rocket Barrage to break the refraction. But I think it's a hero that they feel can just suit their playstyle, give maybe that insta-catch potential that can kind of team up with the Lion or the Nyx to go around, find some kills, create space for Syla, and gives them Roche taking. Like they had 4 heroes who are all pretty bad at Roshing outside of slightly the Terrorblade with Metamorph, who's okay, but they don't have events, they don't have any Roche taking capability. They're on Dire side, so that's something you always. I mean, you look at how Newbie played. They were Dire every single of their games, and Roshan was such a key part of their strategy from Dire side. So I think that's going to be a continued trend.
Just a great reactionary kind of a hero. A quick leaping in, Faceless Void still could pop off the refraction in time, and next thing you know, the whole initiation is going to be mitigated just like that.
That's it.
One of those other heroes that's like, just falls off the wayside, but you really never know. I guess, with Dazzle kind of not being in the picture anymore, and no more Brood and stuff like that. I miss the Manly Axe and the Dunks. Miss Magnesu. Big crowd pleasers. Timbersaw.
Axe during DAC was like a lot of fun. It was one of those heroes where it was like clearly like kind of a bit too strong. Was being picked every game. People were kind of complaining, but as a caster, I was like, "This is awesome. This is."
Do you want to see the dawn of Axe? It was like what Star Ladder 10 in the hands of Yoku. That guy was like, "I'm taking Axe and I'm taking him to the next level," and it was a sight to behold. But here we go. We are into more MDL action. It is our final series tonight. A upper bracket semifinal winner matchup right now. LGD going toe to toe against OG. In our first match of this best of 3 right now. So.
Happy birthday to Moon, whose birthday, I believe, I guess it was yesterday.
Yeah. He got a 2-0 win with it.
Yep. So, but I'll see if that strength carries on today, a day later and a day older. He's been playing with
wiser.
Voice.
We'll see. A day more mature, maybe not.
We'll see. He's been playing for a while. He goes like way back to the.
I would guess like
when he's playing
24,
old school Hon,
probably.
24.
That's a solid number.
Hasn't
for
quite
young,
reached that quarter life yet.
Yeah, like me. Here we go now. No tail prodding the early laning block, but what is ROTK up to? He's like, I'm going to try to take that wave away, but Fly's going to notice here. He plants out a sentry, thinking that the block was going to be there, and suddenly you're eating a full rocket barrage right now. Swing and a miss on the stun. Oh, no! Rise of the King and the fall of the King. And hello, welcome.
That gets like a classic ROTK. Run in the Azubu chat, pretend it's not Azubu chat, and spam your classic ROTKs. Kappa.
Yeah, that fish. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I don't know.
Spam
Something-
your tooths. I don't know what it is.
But I don't know what the emote is, but
Spam it.
find the suitable emote, hit it up. Tooth. All right, we're going with tooth. That's
Spam your tooth.
arcade tooth. Woo!
Okay. Oh, what a start already. He has to even do the walk of shame.
Yeah.
Tough times. So as he gets there and approaches, already obviously morale going to be held up high right now. It's going to be a bit of a slow start. But where they look for the recovery, King can't return if he never leaves. Nicely played there, sir. But they also what they got? Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I misread the situation right there. It looked like the Aceless Void was taken down. Was he taken down? Oh, he denied himself? He denied himself. Okay. Sorry, a bit frazzled by the situation. The birthday boy Moon is actually not looking to get involved too much longer with the offense, it would appear here, Gods.
He's done. His big camp got blocked out
get
by
a
a
Talon?
sentry. He's got
He's
Talon.
Talon
He's
fighter.
jungling. He's like, my big camp's blocked. Well, I'm just going full jungle mode. Void, one of the better Iron Talon junglers. Not as good as Night Stalker, but he's close. And with a Terrorblade, Lion, Witch Doctor, Terror lane, he's getting nothing out of that lane. So he's already in the jungle. He's already having a fun time. This is, I don't know. I've heard some offlaners say like this is like one of the harder patches to play offlane, and some say like it's amazing because you've got this Iron Talon jungle now. So it seems like the offlane is like it's much harder to play offlane, but you've got this plan B, which is the jungle Iron Talon.
Yeah.
So it's good, and you get the bad.
And I want to say that Moon specifically was one of the people who tweeted that this patch was more difficult for offlaners from his perspective. He didn't say it as nicely. It was
He
very
doesn't.
spicy with it, but oh my goodness, Fly gets the kitchen. The King goes down again. ROTK, a second drop for him, and oh man, this lane has just been opened wide up, and it's not going to get any easier. And look at that.
Okay,
Can't be
not
true.
like
3
this.
times now.
Not
This
like
can't happen.
this.
Oh, they want it so bad. They're thirsty for it. They get it. 3-0, and all 3 on ROTK.
And just like the insta respawn, like you just died in the offlane, you respawn 5 seconds later, you TP, you die again. Oh, that's bad. That's really bad. He's on. Like you're kind of like your team just like looks at you at that point, like, what's going on, buddy?
Breathe. Breathe. In and out. Breaths. Count to 10.
And it's not like it's like the young player who's like the new player team, or like he's 18, 19, and the captain's like, look, just calm down. He's meant to be the captain, the leader of this team, and he's meant to be the one setting the example, and here he is.
3 deaths, 3 minutes.
Yikes.
Can't get harder than that, and unfortunately for Nyx, no talent for him, no way to fall back in a jungle. He's going to have to do it the hard way. It's going to be a long road and a long journey for ROTK, but I will applaud this team if they do manage to pull it back after such a crazy start.
I mean, looking at this, it's ultimately one of those things where, he's played the offlane very badly, but overall, it doesn't necessarily hurt their strategy. They're winning the mid lane. The TA is doubling the CS of the OG. Terrorblade is free farming, actually out farming the Gyrocopter in terms of CS. So it hasn't crippled LGD's overall game plan and strategy. It's just given OG way more than they should have gotten out of the safe lane.
We will have a bit of a calm now, and it looks like with first Nightfall, maybe we might see some more proactive movement coming out from both sides. Specifically, it looks like Crit on the Kunkka is looking to pay a visit possible towards this mid lane here. Make casual stacks on the side and look for opportunities to open up. And yeah, as we saw, of course, Terrorblade soaking in the most amount of farm on this map, 32 and 14 for him, but obviously he's in a lane that's uncontested. Moon took the high road and has been jungling ever since and not looking to feed over any sort of unnecessary kills in the off. But Power Tread's already in order. Always the first grab for your Terrorblade because that guy is so skinny at the start of the game.
Yeah, you can tank up a little bit. Tread one maybe as well in TA, so try to continue his success in this mid lane, and Mr. AKMMR Miracles not having the best time in terms of overall farm here. Needs to be a little bit careful. Void's just kind of camping around, looking to perhaps deter and scout out any smoke ganks.
Same with the
mid.
Lion too, though. He's also been harping.
I mean, Void being here he's purely there just to scout a smoke gank, expecting some kind of rotation. Knowing Lion's missing from the map, he's like, okay, are you coming in to kill LOD? No. Well, I'll go back to farming a bit.
Yeah, this is not going to be an easy pick for Crit on this TA, so he'll just continue to kind of float about. The thing is, this goes for both that line and that Clunk. Being off the radar, which is so good. It just keep your opponents guessing, a bit skittish lane, and make sure they have the wherewithal to know what's going on here.
And the hard thing and the important thing for a hero like Kunkka is you want to be off the map, but you also want to make sure you're getting your levels, getting up towards that level 6.
Okay.
Oh, he waits for the rocket barrage.
Comes out now, and they need one more right click, and they're gonna get it. A fly picks up this one, but the response is now coming out. MMY steps in, gets a nice little
Be
two-man
careful,
stun.
yeah.
Just showing him he's got the style.
He's there for the XP leech at least with the creep wave on the tower, which is very small consolation prize.
Again, 4-0, 4 on ROTK.
Iron Talon noise. Are you a fan?
You know what? I will be honest with you. I don't even hear it. Like, I guess it just like happens and it goes in one ear and out the other. But occasionally I do hear this like shink noise.
The metallic like.
Yeah. Oh no! Now with the MMY, he quickly realized, like, what the hell has been happening in this bottom lane?
How is No-Tail?
How are they so big?
How is a safe carry level 6 already? That shouldn't happen 6 minutes in. Not with a tri-lane.
That gyrocopter's a flying warship right now. What is happening?
Oh man.
ROTK, what have you done?
OG playing this safe lane tri-lane incredibly well, finding the kills
Advantage of
and
it.
yeah, they're capitalizing on RTK's misplays, and now it's going to be a tower as well. RTK stunned up, tower. Oh, No-Tail wants it. Can he get out
The
though?
other way? He will
He
lose his life.
may
It looks like RTK's
Okay,
like,
what's
please
up?
let me get the last hit. Oh, he doesn't.
Oh, they got Venge as well.
All right.
T killed the Venge. Oh, T rotated in from the mid lane. Okay, so they salvaged the situation a little bit.
I think if they lost just one, it might have been fine, but losing two,
Yeah.
but
No-Tail got the tower gold, but
yeah.
he ultimately feeds a lot of experience. Pretty big T there because of that streak of his.
Okay, so now there's
TA is suddenly top of the net worth. And that's the thing, you look at the net worth and you're like, well, at least the LGD, the two most important heroes are getting their farm. The supports, the offlane, they're in poverty central, but you can make do with this.
and it looks like with the bottom lane not really being safe at all now for LGD, the movement is out. ROTK is trekking across the country now towards the top lane, but No-Tail's here. Is he level 6 now? Does he have call down?
Yeah, he's just used the bottom.
Oh man, stun on the Sylar, there it is, the mighty call down does drop it. Sylar quickly realizes he's in a world of hurt. He gets the salve off, it keeps him alive for one auto attack, but not that one. Terrorblade goes down. The mighty gyrocopter is just starting to ball up all that snow, and he's beginning to roll forward.
Yeah. And level 7 Terrorblade, you don't have Sunder. If he has Sunder there, he lives, but that's like standard Terror. You're not going to get your Sunder that early on. It's 200 mana cost. You're generally using your mana to make illusions, to use Metamorph.
The courier. Oh, goodness. What is happening here for LGD?
And OD had a pretty rough time mid, so the fact Gyrocopter is snowballing this hard helps create a lot of space for Miracle to just catch up on farm, take back control of his lane, and really salvage the situation. So.
He's a player who knows how to go into farm mode. We've seen his AM play. Like, necessary, he can step himself back and let No-Tail take reign here, which seems to be happening here at top lane. They figured they got such a big advantage. Just
I love what they're doing. They're giving the Kunkka the solo lane at bottom to get him up to level 6 now. So No-Tail's, he's fight ready, and No-Tail plays so incredibly selflessly on this team. He's always looking just to make sure like everything in terms of the big picture is going well. He doesn't mind sacrificing some of his own farm.
He's been
going
a
down
man
once
himself.
or twice. Yeah.
He knows what it's like to be a starved support. He wanted to make sure he gets them the love.
He has this look at the game where it's like, what's going to get us the win in this game? What are the key things? And he could be farming bottom lane, getting that next item up, getting a faster SMY or whatever, or Crit could be getting level 6 that much quicker. And level 6 on Kunkka is like guaranteed initiation, guaranteed kills on heroes like Terrorblade, and that's going to be much more important for
we're not even seeing yet the mighty like finger come out, the heavy burst potential that is there for LGD, but even by the time they're able to get those kind of weapons online, you have a boat on the other side that's going to negate a lot of the damage. So the timing is just wonderful for OG at this point, and they're looking to capitalize with it as much as they can.
We'll see, maybe save up 2k gold, looking towards perhaps a Blink Rush. Could still decide on the Desolator if he decides it's going to be they need to get like a fast Roche or something, try and sneak it in.
Are there any stacks at the Ancient Camp for the TA yet? I don't know if they've been kind of building up any sort of reserve. That could influence going more damage heavy on the items or not. It doesn't look like it there, so he'll have to find business elsewhere. He has a DD rune, gets a slow on the crit, but
can't do much about
doesn't pursue.
Yeah, he's got level 6 Kunkka now, so he can just throw a defensive boat if he needs to. The great thing about boat is you can just use it whenever because of the short cooldown.
Moon is going right for the Vlads, it looks like. Already has his level 6. In fact, he's level 7, so Chrono at the ready. But once they knock down the bomb tier 1 in the top, it's time to clear out the remaining tier 1 here at the mid lane. It's a party for OG.
And Notel even using his Helm of the Dominator creep to push rather than stack Ancients. He's like, let's fight, use this advantage to just beat down LGD now.
LGD are trying to creep in, but OG spot him out. And, big
they
burst
burst the
potential,
Kunkka.
and they annihilate the Kunkka before any sort of boat or anything is going to be coming out, but they are going to be losing their TA. Now as they move in, big coconut to fly out, but they are going to be finishing off the Witch Doctor now, turning it into a 2-4-1. Could have been a lot more scary, but they did get the burst potential there. Also a follow-up takedown. It looks like they get a hold of the Lion, and it's going to be picked up there from Fly.
And that's like the right approach to that fight for LGD. Take out Kunkka, meaning there's no boat to worry about. The AoE damage that combined with the rum makes a team fight impossible, but they're so far behind. Nyx isn't even level 6. That without Vendetta, like a Vendetta Impel to follow it up or initiate with, LGD can't take that fight. They have a level 6 Witch Doctor Lion before Nyx is their lowest level hero in the game on the LGD side as an offlaner, which is a big problem for them.
Last game ended at 17 minutes, 18 minutes. Well,
Dire
people are trying to go for records here. They're
Yeah,
trying to
OG's
get
like-
away from the sickness, apparently.
And OG's had some very quick wins as well. They're best of 2 against Newbie, which they won 2-0. They had like a 15-minute win and a 24-minute win. Some of their wins have been very one-sided.
It's feeling like the Summit 3 all over again. It's like races.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Everyone trying to
a
one
good
up one
stack you
another.
got here.
Yeah.
Gobble, gobble, gobble.
Thanks for that, Emma. Thanks for that, DDC.
Oh, my
you guys
goodness.
are some good friends.
Heartbreaking game 1 right now if you're an LGD fan. This is a tough watch.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, TA Terrorblade, yeah, they're fun, but the rest of the cast does matter quite a lot here. When your offlane Void has 4.5k net worth, your supports are both around 3k. Like, support net worth difference alone is 3,000 net worth between the two teams and their supports at 12 minutes in. That's
Dramatic.
incredible. Yeah, dramatic difference. And Terrorblade's not really a hero that could say, okay, we're behind, I'm going to go and create some space and fight to make room for the rest of you. He wants to keep farming. He wants to keep
He's
split
scared,
pushing.
though. I mean, look at this. All off the radar, and, well, here they are. They're smoked up heading towards this top lane, and, man, they just seem to have the radar for
he's not
RTK. They
level
pick up the
6.
area, but they
better kill.
instead move up. Uh-oh. Have they spotted him? They certainly have. That little dung bee is hiding in the trees right now, and, he might be safe right now. RTK. Oh, counting his blessings. My goodness. This time, he has escaped danger.
It was about time that he had something go his way.
I was blessed today.
Mr.
But he's got to get out there. He's got to get that level 6. But even when he's level 6,
It's still going to be rough.
who are you going to
There's-
gank?
I'm sure there's going to be sentries, and even with at this stage, we're looking at fairly tanky core heroes on the OG side. Void if he gets the time walk off, he negates the damage. You can counter initiate. You can save using the swap. More importantly, and whoa, Notel's like, okay, I've been ganking, roaming, pushing towers. Guess what? I've also secured myself some farm. And gonna flak down his ancients. Uses it once. We'll have to wait for a second.
Swap back here. It's ROTK under a sentry now, looking to jet down and below, but there's still a sentry on the high ground. They're going to catch him with the Asplin. They all surround the 5-man dance. They're
It's
green.
ROTK. I feel like I've heard
They're
that
green.
time and time again this game.
Oh my goodness, a rough one for him.
Yeah. No, it's
Rough OTK.
It's tough, and it's very much like his playstyle where he tries to push the limits of his hero in the offlane, and he's one of those very hit or miss players. Like, when he has his good games, it's ridiculous how good he is at initiating. When he has his off games, it can be really ugly, and that's what we're seeing here, unfortunately, for LGD.
Maybe just a warm-up for LGD. But the Lagandier sauce is not too spicy in this one right now. OG are just definitely... Oh god, now look at this. Maybe catches him out from behind, but
what a
Moon just
chrono.
steps right up and around, gets a nice chrono set, but unfortunately he's not dishing out the biggest of damage. Santi's Eclipse and suddenly,
OD will, though.
They are going to be going right back and quickly taking the lives of 2.
Oh, Void can't do any damage, no problem. Just wait for the chrono and OD will clean up. He's gone for that Treads Drums build that's been oh so popular for ODs throughout this tournament. And I love this build. Straight in the BKB, I was thinking, like, as much as Nyx on paper is a counter to OD, I think if you go for this Treads Drums into BKB build, you haven't gone for any intel items. So the mana burn doesn't do too much damage. You've also got great stats and BKB to deal with the Nyx. It seems like a build that can actually negate the Nyx as a counter to you, and then your opponents have kind of committed to a Nyx who's a very weak laning stage hero, something that OG punished. Nyx, terrible in the lane, died a bunch.
BKBs would just render LGD's team like so useless in these fights. Like, they would be able to do nothing.
Until TA and Terrorblade get farm, which, in theory, these are heroes that do well against BKBs, but these are fast BKBs, and TA and Terrorblade are not at that stage yet where they're scary.
It was similar to that secret game I was watching earlier. I believe it was the first game Weehaw did play the mid or spirit, but he got so much going so quick. He got that BKB before anyone could realize what the hell was happening and just absolutely took over. So when you get him at that timing window where it's just so early, I mean, there's potential. I mean, Terrorblade's got his Yash, so I mean, technically with the Metamorphosis, you can shut down tower, but there's just no opportunity to get that tower unless they can find OG, commit his 5 elsewhere, and try to just take some objectives behind her. Nothing will be coming too easy here.
Yeah. It's too much like Terrorblade has to do it all himself. Terrorblade and TA have to do it all themselves, and like even if Terrorblade gets off a good Sunder, it's I think they just kill him. They'll kill him a second time. It's like you've got 2 lives, but OG will happily go through 2 lives. They don't even care about guaranteeing they stun you as you're about to Sunder because of how squishy their blade's going to be to all the nuke damage OG does.
You know what's bad when it's like I see ROT doing plays like this, and I should be nervous for OG here because it's a Nyx on the prowl, but I'm actually nervous for ROTK. I'm
like,
always now nervous for him.
Is he walking into a
Like,
sentry?
don't walk yourself into trouble, please. I should be feared for the supports, but I am feared for ROTK at this moment.
Yeah.
It's when you know something just ain't right. But he's persistent, and we'll see. Regardless of any setups or not, he seems to be on the prowl, bringing in, gathering the intel here, and looking for any possible out for the rest of his team to make a comeback.
It's next Finger in 20 seconds, and Finger is like part of the spell. It's some weird way LG have to play around. When they have Finger of Death, they can actually kill heroes. When they don't, they run away. If anything, like the game plan for LGD is find a pick off when you're Finger of Death, and then try and farm when you don't have Finger of Death. And ideally, you're finding kills on core heroes like OD, using the Nyx to initiate with the Vendetta, but G can just 5-man. They're going to do that. 17 minutes in, they're ready to break high ground.
2 minutes to go on this Aegis. It looks like Moon was able to pick up a Blink Dagger now, and this, we're into high ground. Pre-20 minutes in. A swing and a miss for ROTK. This game. This is such a hard game for him.
This game, warm-up game.
It's a warm-up.
The release game. That's what Arteezy would say. Release game.
Release OTK. Looking for a little split pressure here. OG were like, don't need to go too hard, too fast in the paint here. We got the time. They might not be able to have the Aegis now for any sort of high ground push, but there's still an outer tower to at least take down.
They're so far ahead. You're looking at a 15k gold lead or something right now. It's going to be so ridiculous.
There was a graph to show it. That would be nice.
I kind of like when it's kind of like observers show the graph. I'm like, do I really want to see this graph? Okay, it's 10k. It's not as bad as I thought, but
no. That could be you can climb that.
So comeback potential. I mean, Sneaker Roche is probably a good step towards the comeback. You've got Terrorblade TA. You've got 2 good physical damage late game carries. Here's that means like OD's rushing a BKB. Like these carries aren't afraid of a BKB OD.
Okay, ROTK, his only real target is this Vengeful Spear, but he's
found the
scouted out the gyro here, and he's realizing his Vendetta might be getting near its end, and I can't be around this business.
He's just playing Bounty Hunter now. He's scouting rather than killing.
Yeah.
You go around the map, invis, you're very much just like, oh, you die? It's like, oh, it's okay, I was scouted, space graded. Oh. He's not playing the Nyx, he's playing Bounty Hunter.
Mid lane, we have Miracle out in front. He has the safety net in the form of crit from behind. ROTK shows himself and is quickly pinged out there from crit, so Jig is up on that front.
Tigger's BKB, not Deso. I'm not to say I'm not questioning, I'm more just curious, because they still can go and sneak rush with the Terrorblade with the TA. But yeah, wanting to make sure they have. I think they realize the fight's coming their way soon. So.
They would have to hope that they would get the Roche and then avoid a fight right after, because that means you're committing a Metamorphosis for it, and just a whole lot of manpower that you're not going to have a fight follow up.
If OG force a fight or like go for a push, TA with a Deso is just paper. Rocket Barrage will instantly break your refraction. If you get caught in a chronosphere, you're just straight up dead. So the BKB actually makes a lot of sense and is a pretty smart pickup for me. Ultimately, though, it may just mean nothing because of how far ahead OG are, though.
All right, we'll see what the OG group wants to do about this. Do they want to take it slow and secure themselves the Roche, get the extra life before kind of closing this one out, or taking the team fight while they know they have such a, well, big and dramatic advantage we've been talking about? Pinging out, looking for a go on the Sylar. Now Sylar is gone. They were close. Even a call down committed to scout him out. Is a low cooldown, but yeah, Sylar.
A house swap and he's TP's cancelled. Very close.
No wave there to be able to scout him for it, so he will count his lucky stars, and OG will just kind of segue into the jungle and take away all the local farm from LGD. But LGD have already found a safe haven across the map.
And for OG, it's everyone's getting farm, you're getting tower gold, your supports are doing well. Your benches have been down, you can secure Roshan. Crit on Kunkka has got a Aether Lens. Void's got his Blink Vlads. And LGD are playing with 3 heroes under 3,000 net worth who can't really offer a whole lot. And now Gyro BKB, so they can go for Roshan, not worried about a fight. They can push even if they'd like to, try and find a 5v5 with LGD. Again, RTK, he's kind of roaming around in Vendetta, but I don't really feel like he's interested in killing heroes. It's more just creating space. With Light, it is possible. Crit. Oh, the rum! I don't think they can kill him with the
look
rum.
at that. He's just totally fine. Even Fly is going to provide the swap, and LGD got to get the hell back. But look who they got. None other than ROTK. They're going to catch him with the X. They're going to pull him back, and they're going to slice him apart. Crit says, don't you dare. Don't dare.
That boat timing
could not have been more convenient. And
the swap save wasn't even needed. Even if Benj was not there, I don't think he dies because the boat would negate so much damage. The finger, the Nyx, Vendetta Impale was just not have done enough because of the Kunkka boat, but I think Fly perhaps just not recognized that. Oh, Fly wanted to get the stun off. He wanted to go for the kill, so
that's true.
He's like, let's do this.
The Vax not working apparently here with Big Daddy scouting out the call down. No one's going to be there, but they do have the ward.
Put your goggles back on. Come on. Perhaps they don't work in
Minor
China.
recovery farm here for maybe, but the second he sees some trouble, he gets the hell out of there with his blink dagger.
Yep. Ancient's now being stolen, like meant to be some sort of a catch-up farm, some farm for TA. I say catch-up farm for TA. TA is like what you'd expect for a TA. 22 minutes in, this is good TA farm. He hasn't forced in his BKB build, but he's still farming incredibly well and having maybe he's had a great game. Terrorblade's done all he can do, but things have just fallen apart.
Yeah, you were hoping for having a bit more from your support staff and your offlaner to be able to work in tandem to allow this TA to be a big problem.
And Void's got 8k net worth, and he didn't even lane. He just went straight jungle with Iron Talon. That's where, like, playing a bit greedy every now and then, and just winning your lanes, focusing on the lanes you can win, and the lanes you can't win, just accepting the fact you can't win it. RTK he's bad accepting the fact he can't do anything lane and then just ditching. You're Nyx, which is the problem. You're not a hero like a Void or a Nighthawk who can go jungle with Iron Talon. Maybe he could because he did on Elder Titan once at Starlight where he went like Iron Talon Elder Titan, but because of the nature of his hero, he's thinking all I can do is keep going off lane. Like that's what my hero does. I've got to get experience. I don't have an Iron Talon. And OG just kept punishing him time and time again.
Last
Veil Kunkka.
Yeah, I know. I saw that. Veil. That's a guy who's a big team player. That's for sure.
This early on, I mean, Gyrocopter is still largely magic damage right now. This is all of Kunkka's nukes magic damage, like a really big pickup, I feel, and a great pickup considering how early it is.
Roche is up. OG go in, and really, no way to go about it here from LGD. OG would be glad to take any sort of confrontation at this point. LG scarce to just kind of take what they can across the map or split pressure and stall out for what they hope to be delaying the inevitable push coming out from OG. So better have his best tools and utility you can ask for before that point.
I love how like OG they're buying sentries and stuff, but they don't feel like, oh, we won't push high ground against Nyx. We don't need to buy a gem. This Nyx is not a threat to us.
Yeah, maybe casual. Just a couple of sentries out the doors of LGD, and if they see a roaming little beetle, they'll take care of it. They'll squish it.
Yep. Counter push from LGD. They're like, okay, 5-minute push is coming. Let's at least try and get some tower money. Try and make a play elsewhere on the map. But the high ground at mid on the LGD base is about to be sieged.
We'll get it, but they will also lose at tier 3 mid. Raxes will be exposed here.
Oh, they
have the extra life. What are LG going to do to try to stall this game out and stay alive in game number 1? We'll see as the swap back is going to be there. They get the stun, the setup for MMY. DDC gets off a pretty nice death ward, but going to be quickly cancelled from the Astral coming out for Miracle. Moon sets up the Chrono, the cooldown going to be there. No Tail swings in with a dominating streak, and they're going to look to just clean house. Double kill comes in for Miracle. Retreat here as OG look to reposition, but maybe doesn't want to get away, tries to smack him on the way out. Now they go under a re-engagement here. They get the knock on to maybe. They get the drop of the Sandy's Eclipse, and he is going to be going down. Moon barely kept it alive. A good Sunder comes out. Sylar, Big, and Golden looking to do work, but boom, boom, bang. He is gone. This OD just hits like a truck and no tail. With his brother in arms, they just wipe the floor of LGD.
Yeah.
Some residual left back here. The hope, but
The LGD did all they could. They itemized in such a way they were as ready as possible for that fight. They had the TA BKB would help get him out of the Kunkka ship damage. They had the Terrorblade BKB so he could just run in and fight, but OG across the board just two farmed, and at a point where they just their lineup is too farmed to fail.
Game may finish out with a kill on RTK.
Yeah, that
not
feels
doing
fitting.
any better. So
That-
it's just
that
that's the name of the game.
sums up this game. RTK, his death, announcing the GG, ends at level 9 with how many deaths is that? Quite a lot of deaths. 0, 9, and 2. I mean, it's hard as casters. Like we don't want to
We don't want to
pinpoint-
harp. We don't want to
we're not
harp on
trying
the
to-
guy.
We're not trying to bully him. This is a guy who's got second place at TI. He's a world-class offlaner, captain, drafter. He just had a shit game.
It really